Previously on Sailing Catalpa, we get help from the locals.
Fuel vacuum pump, maybe, water, maybe.
Lee ends up fixing the Blue Beast, and we say goodbye to the beautiful little town Usuku. We pulled anchor and headed off with full bellies, full hearts, and a hunger for new adventures. We were en route to Ambon.
So, just up top, Taj is busting out a few tunes and he's just on watch. Down here, at the helm, at the nav station, it's got a little download going on. It's just got the predict forecast coming through with the Iridium Go. This little unit here, great, it only takes 10 minutes or so, and I've got the weather outlook over here. We've got just the open CPN running. There's a backup unit. You can see just there we've left Tomia. And then, I don't know if the girls just pretend to put a cold pack on their head or whether they're just in here watching TV.
Bella and I had been sick for the last few days, and it's not often, but whatever this bug was, it knocked us out. Terrible headaches and fevers. But the next day we were feeling a lot better. The first day and night was good conditions and easy sailing, thank goodness.
So it's night number 2 on our passage from Tomia to Ambon. So there we are, about 100 nautical miles out of Ambon. Got a little bit of current, we're just sitting on about 5.5 knots, 6 knots. Got about 10 knots, 11 knots straight on the beam. And I've just got the radar here set. I usually just set that at about 10 nautical mile radius around us. Because over in the cockpit, also got the iPad just mirrored, so I can lie down and see what I'm looking at on the screen and sort of pop my head up every now and then. Sara finished up her watch and it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's beautiful, no swell, just real easy sailing. It's a pretty nice night. Only every night sail was like this. Perfect.
So we got 50 nautical miles to go till we get to Ambon.
We've got northerly, which is a bit odd. It's all been southwest or northwest, and now it's gone around to the north, which is sort of good. We've got about 15 knots on the beam, and we're doing about 7.5, 8.5 knots. So we just come past two buoys, and because we're heeling over, I could see the line of rope going from one stake to the next. So don't really want to get tangled up in one of those. It'll be dark soon, and yeah, it wouldn't be fun, I don't think.
We sailed on into the night and arrived not ideally at early hours in the morning. So we got into Ambon at 2 a.m. this morning. We anchored here in front of this village, which was the first anchorage this morning, and we just cleaned and made water and put the boat together. After our passage, how long was our passage, honey? 3 days.
3 days, yeah, 300 nautical miles, and really slow ending. We come through here and there's just a maze of fads and rafts and fishing boats and
it was horrible.
Ships, and
we arrived 2 places now at night in Indonesia, and it's not fun.
The radar is helpful, even though they are timber boats, they still do bounce a bit of a signal. And the AIS, again, it just comes into its own in these spots. You can see what the ships are doing, all boats going every which way. And I haven't had to communicate with them on the AIS in Australia. Yes, they spoke obviously English, but haven't really heard too much English over the radio. So
I haven't heard any English over the radio.
At least they know where I am and which way I'm going with the AIS. So I think it is mandatory now in Indonesia. They do check your device coming in. But I think you should have it anyway. Oh, it's great.
Also, we're going to go around towards the town, closer to the town, and start on our to-do list. We've got to extend our visas while we're here. Apparently it's easy. It's supposed to be a good immigration, not much waiting time. So last time we extended our visa, it was a whole day of sitting in the immigration office with no food, no water. That was a horrible experience. So
be bringing a cut lunch for this one.
It was about an hour's putt up the river to get to where we would anchor. So we're not sure how high this bridge is. Apparently we can get under it, but we don't actually know. It looks pretty high. We arrived, dropped the anchor, and pretty much just chilled out on the boat for the rest of the day. Lack of food and curiosity brought us ashore and into a BMO to find the supermarket. We found it. And we went nuts. This was the first big supermarket we'd seen since Kupang. We were a tad excited, as you can see, and we wanted everything. But the things we found that excited us the most was Australian cheese, oats, and tin tuna. Oh, and almond milk. It's funny the things that you miss. This was Ambon City Centre, and we've lost Lee.
Bentar Miss, ada Mbak ya? It's okay Madam ya. Kalau Madam nanti buat selulit, buat masker ya. Jadi natural kan begini.
He's too nice to say no to this guy. Next, it was off to the traditional markets, and they were huge. We got some fresh food and headed back to Catalpa. Before coming to Ambon, we had one of our viewers, Nash, connect with us and told us to get in contact with this guy, Nicho. He then became our sponsor and a good friend. They also have one Pizza Hut in Ambon. Oh my goodness, okay, just once. It took 2 days for our visa extension and not much waiting. Off to the bank to pay our money and then back the next day to pick up our passports. We were always amazed at things that carried on motorbikes in Indonesia. But this guy impressed Lee with this. Nicho wanted to show us around Ambon, and first stop was the Ambon Museum. So that's a Hindu centre. It's the only one in Ambon because there's not many Hindus. They're mostly Muslim and Christian. And we're about to go to Ambon Museum. The museum exhibited traditional dress from lots of different islands in Indonesia, Indonesian history, But the kids' favourite was the human skulls.
The actual human skulls.
Human skulls. Read it, what does it say?
It's in Indonesian.
At the bottom. Sacred and worshipped ancestor skulls from Baru.
It's inside of the skull.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if it's still there.
Oh. Bit rotten. Yeah. So what we saw getting done. Okay.
That's actually a pretty cool one.
That's a good one.
Ambon is known as the city of music, and these are traditional instruments.
And that is where we're anchored. How to place on you. He's coming out at the bottom. You've seen that in the reel.
I know, and it's disgusting.
It was time for lunch, and Nicho wanted to take us to a local restaurant for Indonesian traditional food, nasi padang. And it was good. You get nasi, which is rice, chicken, greens, and delicious sauces, with an iced tea. This is the way to eat in Ambon. It's cheap and delicious. So our day out, we ended up buying something we didn't really need, but would make my life a lot easier. But how are we getting it inside Catalpa?
I'm going to have to do a little modification here because we've just bought a washing machine, and through this here which lifts up, that I've actually put a sealant and painted around the edge, so I'm going to have to put the knife around it and hopefully try and open this up. Alright, so what we have here is our access point to the boat.
To the
I just had to run around. I'd already sealed it up with silicone, but anyway, we've cut it open now, so this will allow us to get our washing machine in. It's only a little cheapy, but I think it's going to do the job.
Better than a bucket, baby.
Yeah.
It cost us 1,400,000 rupiah, which is 140 Australian dollars.
So join us next time on Sailing Catalpa as Nicho takes us to his home. I learn a traditional Ambon dish, plus bake a cake, and we show you some beautiful parts of Ambon. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Sarah's tearing up.
I don't know what to say. People are just so kind, and we've had so much generosity thrown at us. People just want to give us money for our new generator, and we've got so many more patrons have got on board in the last few days from our last video, and it's a happy tears. I'm just so grateful for everyone that has given us anything. We didn't expect it, and I just want to continue doing what we're doing because we're so happy. And I'm happy. I look sad, but I'm so happy. And I don't know what else to say. Thank you to everyone. It just means the world to us. I can actually, we were talking about stopping and Lee going back to work, and it's, I mean, we would do it if we had to, but we really don't want to. And, you know, this whole thing's going to work out. So thank you. Thank you so much.
It all comes all thanks to you all. All thanks to y'all.